What if the reason you feel exhausted at the end of the day is not because you worked too hard, but because the world quietly stole your attention before you even noticed? Think about it. You wake up with good intentions. You tell yourself, today, I'm going to be focused. Today, I'm going to get things done. Today, I'm not going to waste my time. Then the day begins. One message. One notification. One email that feels urgent. One problem from someone who failed to plan properly. One quick scroll that somehow becomes 20 minutes. And by noon, you are not leading your day anymore. You are reacting to it. By evening, you are tired, but not satisfied. Busy, but not proud. Drained, but unable to point to the one thing that truly mattered. And here is the uncomfortable truth: modern society is designed to keep you that way. Not focused. Not calm. Not sovereign. Distracted. Because a distracted person is easier to influence. Easier to sell to. Easier to pressure. Easier to control. The Stoics understood this long before smartphones, social media, and endless digital noise. And Machiavelli would have understood it too. He knew that power does not always come from force. Sometimes power comes from controlling what people pay attention to. So today, we are not talking about another cute productivity routine. We are talking about how to take your mind back. In this video, you will learn a simple Stoic routine built around 4 practices: preparing your mind before the day attacks you, choosing the one task that matters, turning interruption into discipline, and reviewing your day without lying to yourself. And stay until the end, because the final part is where most people fail. They do the morning routine, they chase discipline for a few hours, but they never examine the person they became during the day. That is why they repeat the same life again tomorrow. Let's begin. It starts before you even get out of bed. Before the phone. Before the inbox. Before the world gets permission to enter your mind. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in Rome, began his mornings with a practice known as premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of difficulties. He would quietly prepare himself for the people, problems, delays, betrayals, and frustrations that might meet him during the day. Not because he was negative. Because he was not naive. There is a difference. Naive people wake up expecting the world to cooperate. Disciplined people wake up knowing the world will test them. And this is where modern life breaks many people. They wake up expecting a smooth day. Then one rude email ruins their mood. One delay destroys their rhythm. One criticism makes them doubt themselves. One unexpected problem turns into an excuse to abandon the whole day. But Marcus trained himself differently. He knew that if difficulty surprises you, it owns you. If you expect the world to be fair, you will be emotionally destroyed every time it is not. And this is where the Machiavellian layer becomes clear: the world does not reward the person who is easily shaken. It uses them. In the workplace, the calm person gets trusted. The reactive person gets managed. In business, the focused person builds leverage. The distracted person becomes someone else's resource. In relationships, the grounded person sees clearly. The needy person gets manipulated by attention, silence, approval, and guilt. So the first part of this routine is simple. Every morning, before you touch your phone, ask yourself, what could go wrong today? Who might test my patience? What temptation might steal my focus? What problem might appear at the worst possible moment? And most importantly, how will I respond when it happens? This is not anxiety. This is armor. You are not trying to predict every detail. You are training your nervous system to stop treating every obstacle like a personal attack. Imagine this. You have a deep task to finish. Maybe it is a report, a business plan, a creative project, a hard conversation, a workout, or something you have avoided for weeks. You sit down ready to work. Then your phone lights up. Someone needs an answer. Someone sends a dramatic message. Someone throws a problem onto your desk and acts like it is now your emergency. The old version of you reacts instantly. You open the message. You lose your rhythm. You feel irritated. Then you check something else. Then another thing. Then suddenly, the best part of your mental energy is gone. But the Stoic version of you already saw this coming. So instead of collapsing into reaction, you pause. You say, "This is the test I expected." And then you return to what matters. That one pause can change the entire direction of your day. Now we move to the second part. Seneca understood something that most productivity systems avoid saying directly: your life is not short because time is limited. Your life feels short because too much of it is surrendered to things that do not deserve it. People say, "I don't have time." But many of them have time to check their phone 70 times. Time to argue with strangers online. Time to replay old conversations. Time to worry about opinions from people who do not carry their burden. The problem is not only lack of time. The deeper problem is lack of ownership. Seneca used the idea of reclaiming yourself. Reclaim your time. Reclaim your attention. Reclaim the part of you that keeps getting scattered across other people's demands. In modern life, this is brutal because everything wants a piece of you. Your job wants speed. Your phone wants attention. Your family wants energy. Your fears want space. Your past wants replay. Your future wants anxiety. And somewhere in the middle of all that noise, your real life waits quietly. The thing you know you should be doing. The thing that would actually move your life forward. The thing that keeps getting delayed because everything else feels louder. That is why the Stoic does not begin the day with a giant to-do list. A giant to-do list can make you feel productive while hiding the fact that you are avoiding the one task that truly matters. So every morning, after preparing your mind, you ask, what is the one essential task today? Not 10. 1. The one task that, if completed, would make this day meaningful. The one task that, if avoided, would make tomorrow heavier. The one task that moves the needle in your work, your body, your business, your relationship, your character, or your future. Then you protect it like a fortress. Before email. Before social media. Before the opinions of the world get inside your head. Because here is the truth: if you do not choose your priority, the world will choose it for you. And the world rarely chooses what is best for you. It chooses what benefits its own system. Your company may reward urgency over depth. Social media rewards reaction over reflection. Consumer culture rewards impulse over discipline. Weak people reward your availability, not your growth. This is why focus is not just a productivity skill. Focus is self-respect. When you sit down and do the one thing that matters before the world touches you, you are making a quiet statement. My life is not available for random consumption. Now let's talk about interruptions. Because this is where many people lose the routine. They think discipline means having a perfect day. No interruptions. No distractions. No pressure. No emotional friction. But that is fantasy. A perfect day does not build strength. A difficult day does. The Stoics had a powerful idea, amor fati, love of fate. It does not mean pretending everything is pleasant. It means using everything as material. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the obstacle to action advances action. The thing in the way becomes the way. This is one of the most repeated Stoic ideas, but most people still misunderstand it. They think it means, just be positive. No. It means, stop wasting energy arguing with reality. If the interruption happened, it happened. If the meeting ran long, it ran long. If someone disappointed you, they disappointed you. If your energy dropped, your energy dropped. The question is not, why is this happening to me? The question is, what does this now require from me? That question turns chaos into training. And in modern life, this is everything. Because you will be interrupted. Your plans will break. People will waste your time. Someone will misunderstand you. Someone will underestimate you. Someone may even try to provoke you because they benefit when you lose emotional control. This is where Machiavelli becomes useful. He reminds us that not every interruption is innocent. Some people create noise because noise gives them power. Some people bring drama because your calm exposes their disorder. Some people keep you emotionally occupied because if you are focused, you become harder to control. So when interruption comes, do not always treat it as random. Sometimes it is a test. Sometimes it is a trap. Sometimes it is simply the cost of living in a world full of unfocused people. But either way, your move is the same. Return. Return to your breath. Return to your task. Return to your principles. Return without theatrics. This is where discipline is actually built. Not in the clean morning routine that looks good on camera. But in the ugly middle of the day, when you are tired, irritated, tempted, and pulled in 5 directions. Every time you return, you win a small private victory. Nobody may see it. No one may clap. But something inside you becomes stronger. You teach yourself, I can be disrupted without being defeated. That is real productivity. Not doing more. Recovering faster. Most people do not fail because they got distracted once. They fail because after one distraction, they emotionally surrender the whole day. They say, well, the morning is ruined. Then the afternoon becomes weak. Then the evening becomes escape. Then tomorrow begins with guilt. The Stoic breaks that cycle. He does not worship the perfect day. He masters the return. Now we come to the part most people avoid, the evening examination. At the end of the day, when everything gets quiet, most people do not want to face themselves. They want the screen. They want noise. They want food, scrolling, entertainment, anything that keeps them from feeling the gap between who they said they would be and how they actually lived. And listen, this is not about shame. We all do it. After a long day, numbness feels easier than honesty. But Epictetus taught his students to review their day. Not to punish themselves, but to learn. Because without review, your life becomes repetition. You wake up with intention, get pulled into distraction, feel guilty at night, promise tomorrow will be different, then repeat the same pattern for years. That is how people lose decades. Not through one big failure. Through small daily betrayals of their own attention. So the Stoic ends the day with 3 questions. Where did I give my best today? Where did I give in to distraction, fear, ego, or comfort? What will I do differently tomorrow? That is it. Simple. But not easy. Because honest reflection removes your excuses. You may realize the problem was not your schedule. It was avoidance. You may realize the issue was not that people interrupted you. It was that part of you wanted to be interrupted because the real work scared you. You may realize you were not tired because the day was impossible. You were tired because you spent your strongest hours fighting invisible battles in your head. This is not judgment. This is clarity. And clarity is powerful because once you see the pattern, you can no longer pretend you do not know. The evening review is where the Stoic becomes dangerous in the best way. Dangerous to his excuses. Dangerous to his distractions. Dangerous to the version of himself that keeps negotiating with weakness. And this is where productivity becomes character. Because anyone can download an app. Anyone can buy a planner. Anyone can watch videos about discipline and feel motivated for 10 minutes. But the person who reviews their day honestly, corrects one thing, and returns tomorrow with more awareness. That person becomes hard to stop. Not overnight. But quietly. Day by day. Now let's bring the whole routine into real life. You wake up. Before touching your phone, you sit in silence for 3 minutes. You ask, what could go wrong today, and how will I meet it? You imagine the difficult client, the slow traffic, the unexpected problem, the emotional temptation, the moment your phone will try to pull you away. You prepare your response before the test arrives. Then you choose your one essential task. You write it down. Not as a wish. As a command. This is the task that matters today. Then you do it first, or as early as reality allows. You do not wait until the day has already drained you. You do not give your best energy to everyone else and then offer your dream the leftovers. During the day, when interruption comes, you do not dramatize it. You do not call the day ruined. You return. Again and again. And at night, before sleep, you review. Where did I live with strength? Where did I abandon myself? What will I correct tomorrow? This is the routine. No performance. No fake hustle. No pretending to be busy. Just a quiet structure that protects your mind from a world that profits from your distraction. And maybe that is why this matters so much now. Because the modern world has made busyness look like value. People rush, post, reply, consume, react, compare, and collapse. They look productive from the outside. But inside, they know the truth. They are not building a life. They are surviving a feed. The Stoics would not be impressed by how much you did. They would ask whether what you did was worthy of your life. That is the question. Not, did I stay busy? But, did I give my best attention to what deserved it? Not, did I answer everyone? But, did I answer the call of my own character? Not, did I avoid discomfort? But, did I use discomfort to become stronger? Because one day, your life will not be measured by how many notifications you cleared, how many urgent requests you answered, or how many small fires you put out for people who never respected your time. It will be measured by what you became with the hours you were given. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to confine his attention to the present. Not yesterday's regret. Not tomorrow's anxiety. The present moment. The only place where discipline exists. The only place where your future is built. The only place where you can still choose differently. So tomorrow morning, before the world reaches for you, pause. Do not hand your mind over so easily. Prepare for the friction. Choose the one thing. Return when you are interrupted. Review when the day is done. And do it again. Not because you are trying to become perfect, but because you are tired of being owned by noise. That is how a Stoic becomes productive. Not by chasing more, but by wasting less of himself. And once you learn to stop wasting yourself, the world changes. Not because it becomes quieter, but because you become harder to disturb. If this message reached you at the right time, take one thing from it today. Before you try to control your whole life, control the first few minutes of your morning. That is where the battle begins. And if you want more reflections on discipline, silence, and the kind of strength the modern world cannot easily manipulate, subscribe to Stoic Craft. And before you leave, write this in the comments. What is the one task I must protect today? Not for me. For yourself.